Hey everybody, it's your boy Snyder1 with Snyder Elite Gaming, bringing you another fantastic video. This week we're going to be delving into Revenant. Now Revenant's been released for 2 weeks now, and I feel we've had enough time to diagnose this kit and break down the numbers in order to bring you the best build guide possible. Now on this guide we focused on the math, and we used it to highlight certain relationships between card stats and Revenant's build. We then take this relationship and create these rules to help better guide you and to better deck building for Revenant. Now, to get into it, rule number 1, do not build attack speed. Now, y'all are probably thinking, but Snyder, he has this huge gap of not being able to do damage because of his reload. I don't care. The math says not to do it. Now you're going to be like, well, what's this math? What are you doing? All right, well, what I'm doing is I'm setting up a really easy way to relate the relationship between damage and a stat. So we went out onto the... Hey everybody, it's your boy Snyder1 with Snyder Elite Gaming, bringing you another fantastic video. This week we're going to be delving into Revenant. Now, Revenant's been released for 2 weeks now, and I feel like we've had enough time to diagnose his kit and really crunch the numbers math-wise on how to make a better build for this character. Now, our guide is going to be focused on the math that has been crunched by a lot of the community, a lot of the spreadsheets that are out there, a lot of the math that's been going on and being passed around. That's what we focused on. But for this video, I'm going to simplify it in the terms of creating relationships that were made from the math. I'm then going to use these relationships in order to create rules to better guide you guys into making better decks for Revenant. Now, rule number 1, do not build attack speed. Attack speed has a very, very negative relationship with Revenant. Now, a lot of people have been struggling with this because they see Revenant's kit and they're like, I don't like having this period of time where I can't give damage. I can't do anything. I'm just waiting because of this freaking reload. I understand. For now, all you have to do is supplement your abilities in order to counter the freaking reload. But what you got to understand is by adding attack speed to your kit, yes, you're lowering that cooldown, or you're making that time shorter. But per the math, just to let you guys know, 50 CP without having any attack speed, you're at 353. So that's all power. That's where you're at. 353 is the universal damage for that interval of 4 shots and a reload. The moment you take 1 CP and you change it to your attack speed, it drops to 342. Then it drops again to 331, 321, 311. It's a 5% decrease in optimal damage. Don't do it. Don't forgo the 5% just because, it's going to give you a warm and fuzzy that you don't have this time where you can't attack. I promise you, think of him as an assassin. Like Morigesh, he can't attack when he doesn't have his abilities. Think about, there's vulnerability in casters, in assassins. He's supposed to have that vulnerability. But you can overcome it by having very, very strong basic attacks and then having a very, very strong ability. They should not be able to survive that burst. So, for all you guys that are building attack speed, just stop. Now, rule number 2 goes to penetration. So, basic penetration does have a positive relationship. Right now, it increases your damage by 3% to 6% if you have enough power to go with it. Now, what that means is, if you have, let's say, a full damage build with penetration, it's going to help. It's really going to, it's going to do what it's there for. But if you're building into crit, if you're building into crit bonus and power, you're having all these stats that are going into this character. You have to take away from something in order to put your pin on. And when you do that, you take away from his ability, which starts to reduce his damage from his abilities, and it reduces his damage for, his auto attacks. So that decrease in damage, makes the benefits of penetration that 6% minimal. It's no longer that 3 or 6% because you don't have enough power to go along with it. So Do not build basic pin if you're going to be building crit. Ability pin. It's a 3% decrease in optimal damage. Don't build it. Rule number 3, do not build ability pin. Don't. It's a waste of your time. And that one dude that I saw running around with fucking 5 Shadow Scrolls, stop it. Stop it. You're not a Morgus. You're not a Gideon. You're a damn Revenant. You're an 80 carry. Play like one. Just stop. Stop with the ability pin. It's a 3% decrease in optimal damage. Yeah, your abilities may be boosted just a little bit, but you're starting to take a hit in your auto attacks because in order to make that pin viable, you're going to be taking away from all these other stats. And you got to understand, Revenant's kit loves power. It loves damage. It just does. So just stop. Don't do it. Now, I've been telling you guys what you shouldn't do or what you should stop doing. What you guys need to do is crit. You need to build crit. Now, with that being said, how much crit? What kind of crit? What's the optimal? What ratio do I need to do? Do I need to play Battleship and go 50 CP by 1 CP and keep going? You don't. So with that being said, with 41 CP of damage and 12 CP of crit, you're going to hit your optimal. That's what you want. That is 48% crit with 767 damage. It's double the damage of all those other builds I told you not to do. 767, 48%. That's optimal for building abilities and his auto attack. That's what you want to do. But I will draw one red flag. If you're going to do it that way, you have a chance of missing 3 crits out of your 4. And because your 4 shots are so important, I wouldn't do it. Now you're probably going to ask, what's the difference between that and more crit? Well, if you're at 76% crit, it's only a 1% decrease. So you're going from 767 to 760. And that's 34 CP of damage, 19 CP of crit. It's beautiful. That's what I build. That's what I use. And it works. I'm in double-digit numbers. I'm winning a lot. And I'm not even an 80 carry guy. I'm solely a caster guy. I love mid lane and I love playing support. I'm not an 80 carry guy. But I was still able to get into double digits. And that's awesome. Now, my buddy, Jake, he asked me, yo, I don't feel comfortable missing that one shot. I want something that is finite, that all my ducks are in a row. I'm gonna kill somebody with all my crit. What's the decrease? It's a 3.6% decrease for 100% crit on Revenant. So, with that being said, that's something you should do. That's something I recommend. Between the 76% and the 100%, you can't go wrong. Now I'm going to go to my deck builder in order to show you the actual builds, and I'm going to screenshot my game footage, like the aftermath at the end on the kill death ratios, and show you what you're working with, what you're capable of. That's all I got for you. Peace.